And so we go, folks. Here we go. It's a Wednesday morning. I guess, like one of our colleagues there on social media would say, wonderful Wednesday. Yes, sir, middle of the week. I'm George Grant, and welcome to today's edition of Gudday Grenada. So far, well, she just made my day. As I speak to you, she has stepped into the studio. Who is she? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Find out. Folks, gonna have some fun over the next 16 minutes or so, and we're happy that you're with us this morning. Let me start by letting you know that good buddy out there in the Big Apple, Brooklyn, Margaret, Mags, has sent an excuse. She has a meeting this morning. Got a WhatsApp just a couple of minutes ago, and therefore she's not going to be with us this morning. Broken heart. But you guys can hold the fort, can't you? Huh? You've had a lot of practice. More than a year. Yes, you guys can hold the fort. So, where do we begin? Why not start with a rundown? I got some kind of good news for you, those of you who have automobiles. There is some marginal relief in the prices of petroleum products. Yeah. Going to be paying just a little bit less at the pumps. And we'll share the new prices with you in just a wee bit. And we also have a release from the government, which seems to be making an effort to make it a little bit easier for those of you, especially those of you out there in the diaspora, who are so hell-bent on helping us here in Grenada, with our development, making donations and so on, and also trying to find concessions, huh? Well, I'm going to share that with you in just a wee bit. Now, up to the time I came into the studio, it was kind of cloudy out there. I did see the sun trying to peek through a little bit, but there's a tropical wave just to the east of us, okay? So says the National Hurricane Center. I found that out last night. I went searching last night and discovered that there was something, or is something out there. And this morning, I'm finally getting something from the Met Office here. But we'll tell you about that in just a wee bit, okay? I don't think it's anything to worry about, all right? Then we do have the national report for you. And after the national report, Sherron is here. She's back with us. Boy, I haven't yet checked to see whether or not she's got just a handkerchief or a towel. We're going to have some fun this morning. Anyhow, Sherron's with us. Now, let's get down to brass tacks on this Wednesday morning. And we will start with the marginal relief that you're about to find. Actually, it started yesterday. Effective Tuesday, June 18th, the retail prices of petroleum products such as gasoline, diesel, kerosene, liquefied petroleum gas, also called LPG. Some people call it cooking gas. Well, starting yesterday, new prices. Gasoline has gone down from $15.91 per imperial gallon to $15.31. Hey, about 60 cents. Well, 5 gallons, you're saving $3. Yeah, okay. Diesel down from $14.96 to $14.63. Kerosene down from $9.41 to $9.13. Cooking gas. The old price for a 20-pound cylinder was $40, and that remains steady. And the same with the Petro Caribe brand, okay? $37 for that one. The 100-pound cylinder has gone, that too has remained steady. $220.44 was the old price, same price as of yesterday. Bulk, also stable at $2.30 per pound. Now, what about you folks out there in Kayaku? Well, gasoline has gone down from $16.09 per imperial gallon to $15.50. Diesel down, $15.14 down to $14.81. Kerosene down $9.60 to $9.32. All right. And, well, Sherron's going to be happy to hear this one. In Petit Martinique, gasoline down from $10.59 per imperial gallon to $10. They're saving 59 cents. Diesel has gone down from $9.64 to $9.31, and kerosene down from $9.60 to $9.32. Now, when we get to Sherron here, there's a question I want to ask her. Have you noticed in Petit Martinique they're paying what for gasoline $10 per gallon, but in Grenada it's $15.31. I don't know. She probably has an explanation for that, and we'll find out. $15 to $10. You're talking about a $5.31 difference. How many cars are there in Petit Martinique? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. Anyhow, now, recently, I shared with you a cry from someone in the diaspora who was appalled at the difficulty he had been experiencing trying to make a donation to the healthcare system here in Grenada. I'm sure that that was just one of many you have heard over the years. I have heard complaint after complaint from people who, put little things together and send them here. Sometimes when they do get here, they're not utilized. There are untold countless stories about stuff that's still sitting at the dock down there. Well, it now looks as though the Ministry of Health is taking steps to avoid reoccurrences of that story. They issued a release yesterday, which, among other things, says that, and I'm quoting here part of that release for you, to avoid delays and enable a seamless experience at the ports of entry, the government is reminding persons interested in shipping items to various sectors and or entities in Grenada of the procedures to be followed. Any person wishing to donate items to entities in Grenada for charitable purposes must write a letter to the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance addressed to the Carronage, St. George's, Grenada, requesting duty-free concessions. The letter must include a detailed list of the items to be imported and should reach the Permanent Secretary's office at least 2 weeks before the items are due to arrive in Grenada. This would give the concessions desk adequate time to process applications, since some applications require input from other entities regarding eligibility for concessions before the final decision is made. It is therefore incumbent on the applicant to plan efficiently to ensure sufficient time is allotted to the application process. The Ministry of Finance cannot be held responsible for charges incurred as a result of late application and or other delays associated with the importation. It must be noted that if another organization or ministry is requesting concessions on behalf of an entity, follow-up activity must be made through the entity making the application and not directly with the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance, as usual, aims to ensure that all applications are processed in a timely manner. That's the note from the Ministry of Finance yesterday. And I found it so interesting that this came out yesterday when just over the past couple of days we've been talking about that issue. It's an issue that's been talked about for eons, but came up again just a couple of days ago. 12 minutes after the hour, Pilgrims, and finally, just before we get to our first break, as I mentioned, there's a tropical wave to the east of us. It's moving west at 15 to 20 knots. According to the National Hurricane Center, it has abundant low to middle level moisture support, and scattered showers are expected across the Windward Islands, the Southeast Caribbean, and portions of Venezuela. All right? So like I said, this morning it was pretty cloudy out there. Have you noticed we've been having a little rain, a little drop here, and a little drop there? I haven't heard any part of the island complaining that they have had an abundance of showers. Maybe they are, but I haven't heard. But we're getting little sprinkles here and there. So I guess by and large, the rainy season is slowly creeping in. Okay, let me get now to social media. Fitzroy is saying that he's watching from Brooklyn. Joycey Smith says she's back in London with gray skies. Well, we got some gray skies here too, Joycey. Good morning, Mr. Darbo. And Ashton Fletcher is also checking in this morning. Pilgrims, let me take a little break and we'll come back with the National Report.
This summer, make your dreams a reality with a Co-op Bank Summer Sizzle loan. Get up to $20,000 and qualify for a chance to win a staycation at Silver Sands. Go on a vacation. Enjoy the carnival season. Have your dream wedding or make home improvements. Make this summer sizzle with everything you want it to be. Visit your nearest retail banking unit for more details. Special terms and conditions apply. Welcome home.
Grenadian General Insurance Company, strength and stability. Grenadian General Insurance Company. Tell your friends, tell your family. We cover householders comprehensive. Motor and even fire too. Contractors all risk burglary. Public liability. Professional indemnity. Directors liability. And wait, we still have more. Come and find out more what you're waiting for.
We are located on Scott Street, St. George's. For more information, call 440-2434.
Tell everybody.
Boy, they gonna fly with kite now. The wind picking up.
I'm coming. Karim, what you doing?
Fly my kite.
Yeah, but not here. You can't fly kite near power lines, boy.
Why not? The wind good.
Because mommy say, kite threads conduct electricity.
Yeah, kite. He's right. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, you can cause power outages, or even worse, it can get shocked.
Come, let's go and fly them in the pasture.
Yeah, that makes sense. Kite threads conduct electricity. Do not fly kites near overhead power lines. This can lead to electric shocks and power outages. If your kite gets stuck in power lines, do not try to retrieve it. Release it and call GRENADA. Always fly kites in open areas. Keep your kites far away from roads. And remember, always clean up after yourself.
Grenelec, energizing our Grenada.
Sale of alcohol will be prohibited at school functions with implementation of revised National Schools Policy on Drugs. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, June 18th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. As of September 2019, the sale of alcoholic beverages will be prohibited at school functions. This will be enforced with the implementation of the revised National Schools Policy on Drugs for 2018 to 2023 by the Drug Control Secretariat and the Ministry of Education. During the government's weekly post-cabinet media briefing on Tuesday, Education Minister the Honorable Emmeline Pear said the policy applies to all principals, teachers and students of public and private primary and secondary institutions.
As of September 2019, schools will not be allowed to sell alcoholic beverages at their school functions. In addition to that, I also want to refer to the consumption or the possession of those substances. It would also be forbidden for persons including teachers, school support staff, including counselors, librarians, school security officers, visitors, parents or guardians, or any persons who use school premises during school function to be using or having in their possession those said items.
The new drug policy clearly outlines the prohibited items: intoxicating liquor, tobacco, hemp, electronic cigarettes, and controlled drugs, among others. It also highlights the changes that were made following the initial draft of the policy in 2002.
The revised policy includes a number of new initiatives, new areas to be addressed. Back in 2002, we did not have the issue of electronic cigarettes or e-cigarettes. Well, with the revision, we had to take that into consideration. Come September, we'll be focusing quite a lot on in-school suspension. That is, the child commits a drug-related offense. We would be doing the investigations, etc., but we want them to stay around school a bit. There may be an odd situation where we may have to ask them to remain home for a day or two. But as much as possible, we want to keep them at school, whereby we can provide the relevant assistance, counseling, guidance, etc.
That's head of the Drug Control Unit, Dave Alexander. It is the hope of the unit and the ministry that the revised policy will address some of the issues surfacing at schools as it relates to alcohol and drug abuse. The top 2019 CPEA student in Carriacou, Kedrana Emmons, says she never expected to top the list in the Sister Isle. Kedrana credited the support of her teachers, principal, parents, and all within her circle for helping her to succeed.
My teacher helping me, the principal, my family encouraging me, and watching helpful YouTube videos.
Okay, so what's next for your school we're going to? What can we expect from you?
I'm going to be attending the Hillsborough Secondary School, and I expect that I will go on to be successful onto my other school, come high in my classes, and make sure I have a good education.
Okay, so what advice would you like to give to those students that may be going into grade 6 for next?
I want to tell them that just pay attention, be confident, and keep working and pushing to what they want to do.
Meanwhile, Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs, the Honorable Kendra Mathurin-Stewart, met with jubilant students of the Mount Pleasant Government School on Tuesday morning to congratulate them on their 100% pass rate in the 2019 CPEA exams. Minister Stewart told the students entering into a different environment means they have to ensure distractions are minimized and they focus on the task ahead. These students will be heading to Bishop's College and Hillsborough Secondary School at the start of the new term in September.
You have a great launching pad. You have a great place in which you wish to launch off, right? Do not allow anything, friends, anything to get into your way of your success. Your success is for you to go and take it, for you to go and grab it. If you don't do that, nobody else will do it for you. And so that is why you need to take it with an open arms, with an open heart, and dream to succeed, and you will succeed.
These students themselves are eagerly looking forward to the next stage of their lives.
For me, CPA exam was somewhat a mixed challenge, with the social studies being most difficult and language being extremely easy.
Our preparation was done through shared sacrifice by studying hard both at school and home, and keeping focus on the goal which we all wanted to achieve.
It was never an easy task, but by attaining 100% for our school, the Mount Pleasant Government School, is even more rewarding to all of us.
Our three main contributors in this achievement are our teachers, who have paved the way for us from the very first day at the institution, our family, particularly our parents, and most importantly, the Almighty God.
We are anticipating greater success in all of our future endeavors, as the sky is our limit.
Congratulations to all students who have passed the CPA exam this year.
Special commendation to Kimaya Richards from Venom RC School on topping the CPA results with a total of 490 points.
The 2019 Grade 6 class of Mount Pleasant Government School, we would like to say thank you for all the support over the years.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Every summer, the Spice Island of Grenada is transformed into the Caribbean's biggest party, Spice Man.
Coming down to Grenada.
Come experience the warmth of our people, trending theme fats, the revelry, the pageantry, and why we are the Jab Nation. The Kids Our Future shines on August 3rd in the Children's Carnival Frolic and the Junior Calypso Show. 7 beauties take center stage as the Queen of Carnival is crowned on majestic Thursday, August 8th. The prestigious Soca and Groovy Monarchs are crowned on Carnival Friday night, August 9th. Enjoy the pulsating rhythms of the Still Pan at the Junior and the Senior Panorama on Carnival Saturday, August 10th, and Real Steel, August 17th. The March Gras crowns the Calypso Monarch on Carnival Sunday, August 11th. 2 days of frolicking in the Caribbean sun kicks off on Monday morning, August 12th, with the biggest duvet in the world, followed by pageant and Monday night mass. The creativity and splendor of our mass parades on the road Carnival Tuesday, August 13th. Join us in the Jab Nation of Grenada, August 8th to 12th for Spice Mass 2019. Many events, one carnival.
Continuing the news, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has extended heartfelt congratulations to all the students who were successful in the 2019 Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA. In a statement issued on Tuesday, Dr. Mitchell said, and I quote, "I know how exciting it is to have arrived at this, but remember your journey is only just beginning. There is so much more for you to accomplish. Through hard work and dedication, you will continue to achieve good results." Special commendation must be given to the top student, Kimaya Richards, of the Venom RC School. Kimaya, you have done yourself, your school, and your parents proud. Continue to work hard in pursuit of your goals. The range of success recorded by schools this year illustrates the quality of education available to students across the island. We commend the teachers, principals, administrative staff, and all others who are committed to ensuring the success of students and who oftentimes go beyond the call of duty to make this happen. we salute you. To the parents and family members of the soon-to-be secondary school students, continue to encourage and motivate them. It is important that you work in tandem with teachers, giving them extra support when necessary to help ensure that students succeed. To the churches and members of the clergy, thank you for the critical role you continue to play in molding our young people. Let us continue to hold them in our prayers and work hand in hand with teachers and parents to guide them along the right path. As a nation, we must bind together to ensure that the legacy we leave to the students of today will be one worth having. Let us come together in harmony, demonstrating that even as we pursue individual goals, we must work fervently towards building a Grenada of which we can all be proud. As a government, we reaffirm our commitment to continuously improving the education sector to enable students and educators alike to maximize the results of their hard work." Unquote. Staff of the Ministry of Education who spent long hours on the weekend processing the CPEA results have been highly commended by Education Minister Emmeline Pear. The results were released on Saturday night. During Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing, Minister Pear said she was satisfied with the efforts of the examinations unit.
And I want to take the opportunity to commend and to say special thank you to the exams unit headed by Mrs. Michelle Peters-George. Of course, Mr. Mitchell here, who is a member of that unit, would tell you that it required the team to work all day on Sunday and into the very late night. When I got a brief, it was at about 2:30 a.m., which indicates to me around the time that they were finished. Because once you get the data, of course, you have to do the assignment of schools. So their goal was to have the results released to the Grenadian public on Monday morning, and I'm so extremely proud of that department and the work that they did to facilitate that.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Folks, so that's going to take care of your national report. Once again, it's not today's report. That came in last night, all right? Now, I'm a little bit baffled here this morning. I don't see any comments about the national report. However, there is a comment or a couple of comments from John Bruno. Do you know somebody in Petit Martinique named John Bruno? Sherron?
The John Bruno that I know died a long time ago. He used to ride a motorbike, used to work with what is now GBN.
Okay.
And I think there was an accident where his motorbike went under a truck.
Okay.
So when I see John Bruno these days, I'm like, who?
Well, John Bruno says, "Good morning, George. Petit Martinique doesn't have a gas station." And you and I can talk about that in just a wee bit. He goes on to say, "We've been buying fuel out of Carriacou since 2014.
That is true.
All right, we're going to talk about that in just a wee bit. Okay, so that's probably going to answer my concern about why the big variation between gas prices. Let me take a little break here, and then we'll come back with Sherron. And, geez, we got half an hour to talk this morning. Good.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com amazon.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
My name is Gudday Grenada. I've been a confectionery maker 16 years now. Well, as a child growing up, my grandmom always make fudge and always make any candies, cakes, as I remember. And I always have an interest in that, you know? It's like when I'm in the kitchen, I'm very happy. If you're making coconut fudge, you just grate the coconut, you squeeze the milk, and then you strain it, and then you add your sugar, and then you put it to boil. And then after, when you reach a certain stage, you get thick, so you got to beat it. Then after, when you beat it, you pour it out, and then wait for a few minutes to get hard, and then you slice it, you cut it, and then after you break it up, and then you package it. Yeah. Providing food fairs 16 years now. I remember when I just go drop it in the fudge, I was a bit younger too, and I met Miss Harris. So I went here and I said, you know, I have a product here, some fudge. I was wondering if y'all would be interested to take some fudge or candies from me. I showed her, she said, you look very nice, you know? So she said, I'll try it. So she told me to bring back some another day. So that's when I started, but Miss Harris took it from me, and then they would start, so, you know. I had a good relationship with them. Of course, I felt special, you know, at least somebody taking my thing local and, you know, other people can see it, because if it's I just have it, not much people come. A lot of people comes in, they're foreigners. So it was kind of special, you know. And especially when I go in there, all the workers is very nice to me. If I pass and they say, Kizzy, you bringing anything this week to the thing finish? You know, they always look out for me. That's what I like. The atmosphere is nice in there. My name is Gudday Grenada. I work with Food Fair to provide you with sweet treats.
A natural disaster can change your life in minutes. Preparation is the best protection for your family and business. Prepare now. Create a disaster plan and make sure everyone knows what to do. Store water, non-perishable food, and medication. Remember basic emergency supplies such as batteries and flashlights. Trim overhanging trees. If trees near power lines are unsafe to trim, call GRENADA at 237 for assistance or advice. Install surge protectors to safeguard your electrical devices against outages and intermittent surges. For more information, visit GRENADABROADCAST.
GRENADA, energizing our Grenada.
Alrighty, folks, take a look. There she is. Sherron's back in town. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Thank you. I am great. Trying to stabilize, because my body's telling me I'm 5 hours ahead of Grenada time.
You were gone for about a month, right?
I was gone for a month.
Wow. You know, Sherron said something to me a little while ago that kind of surprised me. You know, I said to her that I haven't had a vacation in a long time. And whenever I leave Grenada, it's just so nice to be away. But you said to me after about 10 days you were ready to come home?
Always. There's something, I feel I must be in Grenada. After 10 days, I'm ready to. Anything after that is like, do I have to? And I'm ready to come home after 10 days.
Man, oh man, you must really love this place.
I do.
I think we all do.
Apart from which, I like to be warm. And the first
Is it chilly in there?
The first 10 days were okay, and then we went to Nottingham. We were in Leicestershire, and the weather there was beautiful. And then we went to Nottingham, and it was rainy, and I hate to feel cold. And I was thinking, you know, be careful what you wish for. I was supposed to go to Northern Ireland, and the Friday we were coming from cricket, and I'm thinking, no, the Thursday we were coming from cricket, and I'm thinking, boy, do I have to go to Northern Ireland tomorrow? Whereas the weather forecast was that it was rainy and cold, And there am I walking back from Trent Bridge to the hotel with my hands in my pocket, and I'm thinking, God, I'm cold, I want to get back quickly. And we got in, called and arranged for a taxi to pick us up at 6 o'clock the Friday morning to fly out to Belfast. And at 9 o'clock that night, Thursday night, we got a call from the people who we are going to be staying with, and that was friends from Trinidad. And her brother collapsed at a meeting in St. Vincent and died.
Ouch.
So she had to fly out the Friday, so we didn't go to Northern Ireland. And I'm on the train going down to London, and I'm thinking, boy, be careful what you wish for. I mean, I was sorry that he passed, but boy, was I glad I didn't have to go to Northern Ireland in that cold place. So I think I like to feel nice and warm.
All right. Now, you were gone for about a month, and I know that you went primarily to attend a Reiki conference.
That's
and also
right.
to take in some cricket.
Yes.
For a month, I want you to summarize for me all the stuff, a lot of the stuff that you were doing.
Well, the first day we went into London and overnighted there to go up to Leicestershire the next day. And that was pleasant. Went to walk about a little bit, had dinner at a Thai restaurant. And then we got up to Leicestershire. Beautiful country. Absolutely beautiful. I didn't know. I lived in England before, but never knew they had such beauty. And the conference itself was really, really good. Got a very educational and meeting. We had 108 Reiki masters from all over the world, from Argentina to India, Spain, Portugal, all over the place, especially Germany and the Netherlands. And after that, we had a retreat with people in our Winthrop's direct lineage. They share the same Reiki master. That was interesting. It was a very quiet little village, so we were eating at a pub, and the pub life of beer and cider, and really nice. And then down to Nottingham, cricket. West Indies blazed on the first day with Pakistan. And you walk through the streets and people are saying, you all deserve it, hooray to West Indies, and you're feeling real good. And then the second match, where the umpires, as far as I am concerned, really did an injustice. But then the players, for example, when Russell came in, they needed just 6 runs and over to win. There was no need to start lashing out and losing wickets foolishly. So you wonder, what is the matter with their brain? Do they think before they come out? Do they assess the game and see how they need to play and stuff like that?
Strategize.
So we lost that one by 15 runs after the umpire called wide on 25. That was not necessary. So I sort of blame the umpires for that. And as far as I'm concerned, they're teeth again for Australia. But then the rest of the matches they played, they're not thinking. They're not thinking. We were in London for a while. I got to see friends that I haven't seen for years. That was good. Went walkabout in London itself, the city, and went up to the Shard. I don't know if you've heard, there's this new building. They name it the Shard after a piece of glass, and it's shaped just like a broken piece of glass. And that was...
The building is shaped like a broken piece of glass?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's called the Shard, from a shard of glass. And it's really nice. It is so tall. And we went right up to the top and had drinks. I took pictures of looking down on London, and you're seeing the buses look like little toys in the bottom. And then we had lunch at the Sky Garden. It's a garden in the sky, just as it describes, 36 floor high. And that was very pleasant. But the company was the best part of it. One of my girlfriends from Barbados who live in England. And then we went back to cricket, right down to Southampton. And people were saying, you're going quite in Southampton to see cricket? And I said, well, actually, we came quite from Grenada to see cricket. And Southampton is just there compared to. And we are very fortunate. We didn't buy tickets for Southampton before we left Grenada. We bought for the games at Trent Bridge. And we thought we'll see how the weather goes before we decide to go to Southampton. So it turned out to be a good day. We went down and we were hoping to get tickets. And I saw this young lady as we came off the train, and I said, is this where you get the taxis? And she said, well, I actually ordered an Uber, and taxis are over there. So we went to stand in line to get a taxi. And next thing, she's in her Uber and calling us over. So she gave us a ride. Well, we shared the cost. And she said, I'm the sister of Russell, Andre Russell. Do you have tickets? And I said, no, we were going to buy it. She said, well, I have VIP complimentary tickets. So she gave us, and we went in, and we were sitting right on the ring next to the field. So that was really nice.
Wow.
So I thought coming from Grenada and getting complimentary tickets for the cricket are real nice.
Despite the loss.
Despite the loss. And I'm wondering, when you look back, yes, I wanted West Indies to win, but they didn't play to win. As I said just now, they're not thinking. They're not using brains. So unnecessary, some of the things they do. And the game again on Monday. Tell me why. Explain to me why they would play Bravo so low. Yes, he has not been really performing. But if you're giving him a chance, give him a chance. Don't give him a half chance. And Russell is really suffering. His left leg seemed to be giving a lot of trouble, his left knee. You have Roach there. You know something, Sherron? I don't know whether or not you saw it, but somebody in Trinidad did a piece on Facebook a couple of days ago. Actually, I think I may have sent that to you and Winty, because this person was so fed up with the way the West Indies performed. Not just the lack of cricket prowess, but like you're saying, it's like they're not thinking. Mm-hmm. And this guy was livid. Perhaps I should try and pull that out and play it one of these days. But he's echoing everything you just said. Man, I was so upset. I was telling him, I said, let's go. And he's like, no, we have to stay and watch. But I mentally switched off because it was so terrible. I tell him, I want to get hold of Jason Holder and just shake him or just squeeze him and say, wake up, you're too simple. He bowling when he shouldn't be bowling. Okay, for example, Russell bowled 2 overs. You see Russell not capable. Down towards the end, they give Gale the ball to bowl. Now Gale could bowl. The first almost maiden over in the last, on the 6th ball, they got 1 run in the first over he bowled. He got a wicket. I mean, come on. Why you didn't bowl the man earlier? What Jason Holder doing bowling when they're getting 32 off a over from him? I don't know what to say. I was just... Let your blood pressure settle for a minute. Yeah. Let me ask you something. When I've been to London, not as often as you have. I've actually only been there twice. But let me ask you this. There was a place called, a museum called, I think it's Madame Tussauds. Madame Tussauds? Madame Tussauds. Is that still around? Yes, it's still around, man. You should see the line. I couldn't wait in the line that long because they go around the block waiting to get in there. I've been in there a couple times. That used to be, when I lived in London, that was the place I would take my visitors to. We must go to Madame Tussauds. And I remember one day that everything in there is so lifelike.
That's the point I was just going to make to our viewers. You know, they've got like replicas of Elvis Presley, Dolly Parton. And when you stand next to these replicas, you could swear on a stack of Bibles that you're standing next to the very person. They are so lifelike.
Yeah.
It's scary.
I went there with one of my cousins once, and she was saying to me, gosh, you see how real this look? And I saw a statue, and I said to her, you know, this is real. So she looked at it, and she said, okay. She said, no, it's not. And so she touched it, and she realized, yes, it is a statue and true. So then I saw this woman, and the lady was standing staring at one of these, was Pope John Paul II.
Yeah.
And I said to her, you know, that's a statue too. She said, wow, it looks so real. And she touched it, and the woman turned around and said, excuse me? Boy, she almost had a heart attack because it looked
it's scary.
So real.
And what about, I think the other one is called the London Eye.
The London Eye, I didn't go. I took pictures of it, but I didn't go to it.
Okay.
But it's really nice.
That's something else. It's this huge Ferris wheel.
Yes.
I thought about that a little while ago when you said you went to, what's the name of that thing that, like a piece of glass, the Shard?
The Shard.
The Shard. You said you were looking down at the city.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking about when you were talking about that. Those are the two things I really, really remember, apart from visiting the BBC. You know?
Right.
Oh boy, they have a huge building right there.
Yes.
Downtown London. Yes, Sherron. So, now you're back.
Yes.
Has Winty recovered from the Windies performance?
You'll have to ask him that, because I left him looking at cricket this morning because South Africa is playing New Zealand, and he's back in South Africa and I'm back in New Zealand. So I don't care. In the case of South Africa and Australia, whoever they play, I back the other person. That is my South Africa and Australia are my two least favorite teams. So when they play each other, I don't have a dog in the fight. But normally, and apart from which, I like New Zealand.
Okay.
So I remember when they played here, one of the fans, I was a volunteer at the games, and the last game here, New Zealand played, and he wanted my shirt, my volunteer shirt. So we were coming around by the fish market, and he and his wife said, we'd love to have a shirt like that. I said, well, fair exchange. I said, give me yours and I'll give you mine. And he took off his New Zealand jersey and gave it to me, and I gave him my shirt. I took my shirt off and put on the New Zealand
Fair
shirt.
exchange, no robbery.
So I still have that New Zealand shirt.
All right. Well, let me tell you something. A lot of hearts have reached out to Winty, because they know what a loyal supporter he is. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I have nothing but admiration for the guy. You know, I think all of us deep down inside hoped the West Indies would perform better.
Well, you could still hope, because they still have quite a few matches.
I think they have 4 games left.
Yes.
Okay. And they could make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
If they win all those 4 games.
If they use their head and they start playing people like Roach and give Russell a rest.
Okay. But you know, let's get real. The chances are slim, but there's still chances.
Exactly.
Okay.
Where there's life, there's hope. And I keep reminding Winthrop, I tell him, I say, remember, we're not living in hope, we're living in St. Paul's. But he's going to be the last man standing.
Absolutely, and I admire him for that. There's an old saying I remember from my childhood: live in hope, you can die in Marquee.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so much for cricket. Let's get back to this thing about Pity Martinique here. Excuse me,
Yes.
John Bruno was saying that Petit Martinique doesn't have a gas station. Is that true?
Well, that is not quite true. Petit Martinique has a gas station, but it's not functional and hasn't been for quite a while. There's a dispute between the owners, and I wouldn't go into that. But even before that, gas in Petit Martinique was lower, and it had to do with transportation. For example, the amount of trips the tankers take to Carriacou to deliver gas is not even half that amount of trips to Petit Martinique, because there are just about 24 vehicles, if so much.
24 vehicles on the island.
Yes, if so much. I'm not sure. It might be a little more because I haven't been there for the year. But to get gas these days, you have to send a container down to Carriacou and buy gas in Carriacou. So Petit Martinique paying the same price that they pay in Carriacou because the gas station is not functional.
Wow, wow. An island with 2,000 vehicles, approximately.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, at least they're not paying what we're paying.
But you know, the gas station served the boats more. And Petit Martinique, in Petit Martinique, you have boats the way people in Grenada have cars. And because it's a fishing community. And it's hard on them because you need gas to go from Petit Martinique to Carriacou or anywhere else that you go in. The small boats, the cigarettes, these people, that's what they make their living. Yeah. And you have to go to Carriacou to buy gas. So
you know, you talk about the people of Petit Martinique using their boats the way we use cars.
Mm-hmm.
You know, something I will never forget, Sherron. We spent a weekend doing the SWGG program up there. We stayed with a lady named Odinga Blair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And her husband apparently does a lot of fishing. Well, at least he did at the time. And one morning we're sitting around talking about what I would like to eat. They wanted to make sure I was well fed and had what I liked. And I said, you know something, I really like lobster.
Mm-hmm.
He says, all right, hold on a minute. The man excuses himself. We're sitting on a porch there. He excuses himself, takes off, jumps in his boat, goes and dives lobster, and brings back. Oh. I mean, it's just like you would run down to Rick's Cafe or Food Fair or
That's
somewhere
right.
and, you know, pick up stuff. Just like that.
Just like that. As long as it's the season, you could do that. You know, and you know the guys who go raise their fish pots, so you take a walk down in the morning and you go, you buy your fish, come home, clean it and cook it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's how it is. You call somebody and you say you want a ride to Carriacou. You're going to Carriacou, I want a ride to Carriacou. And you almost 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
You could get to Carriacou and you go up to Windward or something and you're patient enough, you wait a few minutes, you get a boat to go across the Petit Martinique.
And there are a lot of these so-called cigarette boats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Almost every household have a boat. Just like here, almost every household have a car.
Yeah. They're kind of scary though, eh? Because, I mean, these boats are like, they move like bullets, eh? I guess these people, they're seafaring people. They've been on the water all their lives, so they fear nothing, all right?
I wouldn't say so because, you know, before I learned to swim, I was driving boats. I drive one of those cigarettes, and I drove it out of necessity. I went to a meeting in Carriacou when I was coordinator for Petit Market for Affairs, and the person who took me down stayed by the rum shop, and by the time I was ready to go up, he was under the influence. And he just told me what to do. And you get to know the channel, right? If you go in there every day, you must know the channel. I don't think they have a Petit Martinique woman that can take a boat from somebody and bring it home.
Yeah.
So.
It's just the speed they move at just scares the crap out of me.
Yeah.
You know? All right, anyway. Finally, Sherron, before I let you go this morning, man, the CPEA results are out.
Yes.
I see that we had more passes this year than we did last year.
Yes.
And you know, yesterday morning I was sitting here listening to the report from the GIS. They were talking to some of the kids who passed and their ambitions. And Sherron, you know, when you sit and think about all the nonsense that's going on in this place, that report gave me a lot of hope. Even Margaret commented on what a wonderful report it was from the GIS. Some of these kids want to be dermatologists, engineers, and you know, they're ambitious little kids, and you can see their bright little eyes just spinning around in their heads. Gives you kind of hope, isn't it?
And after all the way the teachers were treated, don't you think we need to tell them thanks?
Well, you know, again, this is something that was done in the report yesterday. Apparently the teachers were complimented. I hope I'm using the right word, but they were complimented for the work that they've done. And somebody commented about the irony, I think it was Kipling who made a remark about the irony of hearing those words right after what had been said about the teachers.
Exactly. So in spite of all this, they're now boasting how good the children did. Do you think they did it just on their own? Yes, I'm sure that the parents had input, but I'm sure the teachers worked hard with them. Because teachers being who they are. I was a teacher too, you know that?
Yeah.
I actually started off my working career as a teacher. The first place I taught I was a volunteer teacher at PBC and fell in love with it.
Okay.
And then I ended up teaching in Vendome. I taught in Vendome, and congratulations to Vendome, we got the number one.
Yeah.
And the headmistress, Miss Francis of Vendome, was one of my students.
Aha!
So,
you're that old,
hooray,
girl?
I'm that old. I'm going to be 64 next month, the 8th of July.
Ah, you still have
I'm
some catching up to
64.
do. Yeah,
I'm proud of my age. I have no problem with it.
I am 67. So you still have some catching up
Good
to do.
for you. Good for you.
Sherron, thanks a lot as always, my dear friend. And when next you see you in tea, tell him we love him dearly. We thank him for trying to lift the spirits of you know, the Wendy's supporters.
Maybe I'll ask him to join you next week.
Hey,
yeah,
that would be great. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks a lot, Sherron.
Thank you.
Now, just before we go, parting word, my dear friends, parting word from the Holy Scriptures. Today it comes to you from the book of James, James chapter 4, verses 13 to 17. Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this city or that city, spend a year there, carry on business, and make money. Why? You do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogant schemes. All such boasting is evil. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is sin for them. Take that to heart, pilgrims. James chapter 4, verses 13 to 17. On that note, Georgie Porgy is going to hightail it out of here with thanks for the time that you spent with me this morning. There's a note here. Jackie O says, yes, kudos to the teachers. They are miracle workers. And John Crow Alexander says, a woman driving a boat is the sexiest sight one can have. Just saying. Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot for joining us, folks. God bless you, and by His grace, let's get together again tomorrow morning.